What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel, and welcome to the spoiler-heavy episode 1 review of She-Hulk, new Marvel series, Tatiana Maslany. So I have a non-spoiler review up already of episodes 1 through 4. I did get to see it, and that's why I'm basically going to be wearing the same outfit for all 4 of the spoiler reviews, as well as the reactions that I'm doing, because I'm recording them all in one day, so they stay fresh in my mind. If you're brand new to the channel, and you haven't been here before, do me a favor and hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 70,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Going to try to take this show on the road, man. We have long-form shows, do stand-up comedy, do a bunch of stuff. So we hope that you'll join us. All right, She-Hulk. This is it. This is the show. So I kind of said this already in my non-spoiler review, and if you didn't hear it again, you're hearing it for the first time. I haven't been super excited for this show. I love Hulk. I'm a big Hulk fan, and I love Tatiana Maslany. I've been kind of thrown off from a lot of the kind of over the head humor that Marvel has been doing lately. Although I really liked Ragnarok, I thought the balance was missing tremendously from Love and Thunder. I thought it was kind of more of a straight up kind of spoof comedy almost than anything else. And I think that there were a lot of times, even stuff in Doctor Strange that happened sometimes, but there was a little bit more, I think, story, at least in that one for me. So when they said this is just kind of a pure Ally McBeal comedy, I said, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is going to be for me, because as much as I like Tatiana Maslany, I don't know if if it's going to work for me. And as I said in my reaction, and as I said in a non-spoiler, and as I'm going to say here, I was wrong, because this show, at least the first episode anyway, and I'm doing these episode by episode, that I'm going to release at the time that they release. But I really loved this show. I really did. And it's really, I mean, I'm going to give you, I want to make sure I have the writer's name, because she is so good. Jessica Gao is, I mean, it's really clever. The chemistry between, what I really liked about this episode, by the way, is that the majority of the trailer that we saw is in the first episode. And I know they've been doing that a lot, but it means there's a lot left for surprises that are coming down the road. There's a lot of stuff inside of the trailer that I think plays in episodes maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe even more so. I don't know, but the majority of the trailer comes from episode 1. And even like this particular scene, and like I said, when I saw the trailer itself, I'm like, okay, we're just going to be jokey the whole way through. It's not. It's Jennifer Walters basically having to deal with the fact they're in this car crash. I love in the beginning how it's set up, by the way, where you see her as a lawyer, and her coworker says, well, why don't you do the She-Hulk thing? And you're like, oh, we're not going to see how she became She-Hulk? And she, almost like she hears she say it, she turns and she goes, oh yeah, I'm She-Hulk and I do this, but you wanted to kind of know how it happened. Okay, here you go. And so we get right into that scene, and Mark Ruffalo and her, and it sets up this whole chemistry between the two of them, and right away they're just both fantastic actors, and coupled with this really well-written script. I can't tell you how blown away I was by the script. Again, and you guys, if you don't know me and you haven't paid attention to my stuff, then you wouldn't know. But if you've been paying attention to my stuff, people always go, oh, you don't like the humor in things. You don't like the humor in things. It's not true. I like balance. This show had balance because it set up what the show was from the start and was consistent all the way through, but still had an idea of why she had to go through the things she was going through. And the conversations wasn't just, even though they were jokey, they fit the moment. Like there's a whole post-credit scene that we can jump to right away when they set it up about she's a history buff. And I loved the references to the past stuff in the MCU and the trauma that Bruce has had with his friends passing away and his friends going, and the kind of warm feelings he gets when he's talking about Tony, when he's talking about Cap, and he's talking about all these things that he went through, and he's taking us back through. Oh yeah, I remember when that happened. I remember when he was off planet and he did this and he did that. And you see him going through that, but there's this mention of her, how she's a history buff, and she's going through the Captain America stuff, and she brings up the girlfriend thing. And at the very end, when she's faking that she's drunk, and stay for the post credits for these shows, by the way. But she talks about it, and he gives up the secret. No, he's not a virgin. He at the USO tour here, and she's like, I got it, Captain America, and then they bleep it out at the end, or they cut it short. And I was like, man, this show is. It's cute, man, and they have a great rapport, the two of them. And so the other thing is that some people I saw, the CGI. People are going to ask me about the CGI. So for the first episode that I was watching, the CGI seems to be fixed dramatically. At least from the stuff, and maybe the shots that we didn't get to so far. I mean, there's a couple things here and there, but for the most part, she looks really good. The Hulk, obviously, because they had so much footage from him and have been using that model for so very long that they've almost perfected it so much. But they, it looks good, and I like and what people were saying, and this is the thing that, as we go through these images, a lot of this stuff, obviously, just like I said from the trailer and her training and the things that she's going through, this thing. So I saw a lot of people, how does she pick it up so quick? How does she pick it up? He's been doing it for so long and she can just pick it up. That's kind of the whole point of the story, is that right away when he's like, all right, calm down, relax. And he's like, and he goes, the thing with the horse. That and the bing bong moment was hilarious. Oh no, bing bong. His delivery, Mark Ruffalo's delivery was solid, coupled with, again, the writing and the performance of Tatiana Maslany and the way that there's a rhythm that these two have. It's a bummer because you understand it. It's a special guest star, Mark Ruffalo. I don't think he shouldn't be in the show the whole time because you want to make sure that she can have the spotlight on her. And I get it. I just really want to see more of them together because they have such a good chemistry. But I get why you're not going to see him for a little bit. But she's trying to deal with the fact she wants to get back to her life. And he's like, you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to doing this for like 15 years. She's like, 15 years? F that. I got to figure this out. And he's like, right away, he's like, wait a minute. Why aren't you hulking? Why aren't you like a monster? How are you figuring this out? And that's the thing with her. She figures these things out quick. And it also, that particular moment when they're throwing the rocks and she throws the rock farther, then he picks it up and basically throws it in outer space. And she's like, I mean, it's like, okay, well, she can't do that yet. And their fight was great at the end. The two of them, like two cousins fighting, but they still breaking the bar and the stuff. Then after you see the sentimental value of what the bar was, I mean, like I said, I've talked about this before. I can go into a show going, I don't know, but if I love it, I'm not going to pretend that I don't love it. I loved this show. I loved this episode. I liked it better than Hawkeye. I liked it better than Captain or Winter Soldier and Falcon. I mean, the first episode, that is. I haven't seen the whole thing, but the first episode anyway. And like I said, I haven't seen the first thing. I haven't seen more yet. Even though you're like, well, wait a minute, you have a non-spoiler review up. Well, the way I'm taping this, I'm watching each episode first. I'm doing my initial reaction. Then I'm going to do my spoiler review for each episode, and then I'm going to shoot my full non-spoiler. So there you go. Anyway. And they're half-an-hour episodes each. They're short. And I think that serves the purpose. Now, the only thing that I didn't necessarily love in this particular episode, this scene was great, them playing around, the spandex stuff that we saw. Some of this stuff I wish wasn't in the trailer because there were some good lines, but her trying to figure out exactly how to not hulk up, control it, get it under wraps, and go back to her life. And this scene here where he's just trying to figure out, okay, maybe she's going to be a rage monster, and she's not. And then the talking to the camera I liked. And I think that from what I've seen and the research that I've done on the comic, it seems to be playing pretty true off the tone of the comic itself. Okay, this is my least favorite scene of the pilot. And it's nothing against this actress in particular, and I'm sure we're going to learn more about why this seemed like something out of The Boys more than it did a Marvel film. It's like, I don't buy this particular woman as like here she looks like she's cosplaying and just kind of breaks through, and I think it's just kind of a catalyst to get She-Hulk to punch her in the head and, them to notice, hey, look, she's She-Hulk. And like I said, it's so nitpicky. It was so small. But that was the only thing. She just felt a little out of place, that particular character. But other than that, loved this first episode. Now, like I just said, if I go back and watch the second episode of my fears of like, okay, now they're getting too jokey overall, and it's just that heart that was there and that overall story that was there of her trying to balance two separate lives into one is gone. Well, then I'm going to tell you. But right now, loving what I'm seeing. Love the episode. For episode 1, big thumbs up for me. Loved it. What'd you guys think? Did you like episode 1? Did you not like it? Did you think the CGI was good? I want to hear all your thoughts. This is the spoiler-heavy episode, obviously, hence why it's coming out right as the damn thing just dropped. And I've had the non-spoiler up for a little bit. So, and if you're brand new to the channel again, and you're just trying to figure out who the hell my stupid ass is, subscribe and find out some more. We got a lot of good stuff going on over here. We got some long-form shows, got short-form shows, got a whole bunch of things. And we'd love for you guys to join us. We're trying to get to 70,000 by the end of the year. And if you subscribe and you like what you see, you can help us and be part of the conversation. I try to respond to everybody that I can on these episodes. So thank you again. I appreciate you. That's it. That's episode 1. That's She-Hulk. And we'll be back for episode 2. Pleasantly surprised. What a fun show. And the director, Kat Corio, directed the first episode, and very well directed show. But overall, though, Jessica Gao it gets my biggest applause on how well written this show was. The first episode, very funny, not over the top, well balanced, good show, real good show. Looking forward to seeing more. I think the 30-minute time limit for this series is actually going to be way more of a help than a lot of times when it comes to Marvel and Star Wars. Like, why are they so short? I actually think because of the television kind of sitcom-y. It's weird. It's not like a pure sitcom, though. It's definitely a comedy. This is more. This to me is a well-balanced comedy. This to me is what I wished Thor: Love and Thunder was going to be. But I know a lot of people loved it. But I'm just telling you what I thought. Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.